council meeting of the Village of Armada will now come to order. Will everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Clark.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Wallach.
Here.
Baylor.
Here.
Belkey.
Here.
Shaw is absent.
Okay. Next is the approval of the agenda. What is the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I have an item under new business to add, Northern Electric.
We are also going to be removing item H. Item F first, designation police commissioner. We're going to wait until the appointment's made and he's sworn in before we going to remove H, bond council information for sewer plant improvements, and I, planning commission request for council approval.
Okay, with the changes, what is the council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as amended.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Pardon me. At this time, the citizens' comments, floor is open up. You have 3 minutes. If you want to state your name for the record, please, and present to the council, please. Anyone want to address the council at this time? Yes, sir. State your name and you have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you, President Wallach, members of council. My name is Kevin Grand. I'm an Armada resident. I'd like to speak regarding a couple items. First off is item A, the CDBG. Kind of had a question regarding exactly what are service funds. I was able to find a mention about it on the website. Nothing was more specific regarding that, so if someone can elaborate, that would be appreciated. Also on the same item, I was also noticing that the criteria for CDBG is very, very broad. And given the fact that there are a lot of items in the village that need attending to, one of the items I noticed was public infrastructure. And I don't think I have to remind anybody here that obviously we have a lot of that needs to be done in the village. To say nothing about some road and bridge work a little bit west of here. That can be addressed, that would definitely be appreciated. Also regarding the issue with the agenda, can anyone please explain why the last agenda on the village website is 2 years old? Because when I went on the website, it is dated January 2017, which I found unusual. Even more unusual was the fact that the calendar is not showing any meetings for 2019. As far as I looked, there was nothing on the calendar.
I can't explain the agenda. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. That I do that, so if it's a mistake, it's my mistake.
I'm not pointing fingers, I'm just asking if it can be corrected in the future.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I think that's the first time that's happened. So,
okay.
Yep. And the meeting dates I did put on, so you might be looking at a different calendar.
I'm clicking on the calendar.
There's two. Yeah, there's 2 calendars on there. So okay. I can make sure those get on there.
That would definitely be appreciated. All right, thank you. And thank you.
Good. Thank you, sir. Anyone else? If not, there's no presentations tonight. And next is the administrative reports. The building department, excuse me. The building department report, Mr. Lemieux, he is here, so do you have any?
Yes, I do. It might be of interest to the council. I was at the Village of Oxford a couple weeks ago and noticed that their lighting was all changed. I talked to the city manager over there about how they did that, and he said that they had a nonprofit, that should be in your package, this Energy Reduction Coalition, that installed the lights for them free of charge, and somehow they capture the savings to pay them back. And I wonder if council would be interested in looking into that system and bring information back to the council for more in-depth review of it. And they do street lighting and they do interior lighting too.
Michelle, you did have somebody contact you on this?
No, Dennis did.
Oh, Dennis. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Dennis, I think it's probably an excellent idea when it comes to saving money. And I think Mr. Ballard would agree with his streetlights too, you know, so that is quite a hefty dollar that we do pay. So I would probably suggest we do look into it.
The gentleman Dennis was talking to actually offered to come to a meeting, so if you'd like.
He wanted to come tonight and I said, no, I want to see if council is
Right.
interested in pursuing that. I figured you were, but I didn't want to, I figured
Well,
the decision was yours.
When it comes to saving money, I think sooner the better.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can listen to him. Yeah, no doubt.
He can come in and do a presentation at the
Yeah,
next
so-
meeting.
If you want, I can see if he wants to come back in 2 weeks for your next council meeting.
That would be fine.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
if I
Ballard.
may, the streetlights for this past month cost us $3,275.76. So I think it would be a very good cost savings.
But you also have to say this, only streetlights that we own are downtown. The rest of them are Edison.
Well, here's the thing, with the township, I know back about 3 years ago, we changed over our, I think, dozen or 13 streetlights, and it was like a $5,000 cost to the township. And as you know, LEDs pay back after, I don't know what the payback period was, but it was definitely a savings long term. And we have several more than 12, I'm not sure, we probably have a couple hundred of them, yeah.
We also own the ones all through the subdivision too.
Okay.
Don't we pay the power, even though the Edison may own the lights, we still pay the
We
power?
still pay for the power.
So-
Yeah.
So with that, with that being said, I will contact this guy and have him show up in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, and then tell Michelle we'll put them on the agenda.
Okay. And as you can see, there's a couple, I think it was City of Centerline, Jackson,
Mackinac City.
Oxford, Mackinac City, yeah. So, very good, thank you.
Well, we have Armada on there too.
Very good.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right.
Also, you can address the ZBA stuff.
I don't know that I need to. Anybody have any questions about the write-up I did on ZBA? The fact that my election triggers a number of changes. I think you saw those in the packet, so just any questions on that? I think it was pretty straightforward. Okay.
Very good, thank you. General business, consent agenda, approval of the regular council meeting minutes of December 17th, and the payment of bills. What is the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
They have a motion and support. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We have no old business tonight. New business. We're going to start with the CDBG hearing, supposedly 7 o'clock. We always put it down for 7 o'clock, but it always comes just a little bit later than the 7 o'clock. But we do it for that reason. Okay. Now what is council's wishes to enter in?
Mr. President, I'll resolve to open the public hearing to approve the fiscal year 2019-2020 CDBG program at 7:10 p.m.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported. Roll call on that, do you?
Ballard,
Yes?
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Belke,
Yes.
Wallach.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, we are into the CBG public hearing.
Can I address the
Yes, go ahead,
questions? Okay. Service funds are nonprofit funds. So we have several nonprofits that submit their request from the village. Obviously, you can only give away 15% of your money to services, and we only get $10,000. So that ends up being 20. I don't know the number off the top of my head. So they submit what they want. So the village goes through, I give them everything that the county gives us, This is a HUD-run program. We're very, very restricted on how we can spend the money. You mentioned roads and bridges, can't do it. There's no way to do it because what this program is designed to help people of lower income. The village historically does not fall in that category. We're high medium. We're medium high, I should say. And for roads or sidewalks or bridges, they don't look at who lives around it, they look at who travels on it. So we have tried numerous times to be able to fix, you know, Burke Street down there by the church, down different, there's no way to do it. HUD is very restrictive on how we can spend this money. And we have done sidewalks in the past. We have done this downtown, we did that with that. Lately though, the restrictions have gotten so so hard, it's almost impossible to spend money. I hate to say that, but it is. So what we did last year was we put it into a senior minor home repair program that is run by the county. Any seniors in the village can apply for this. They can get, I believe it's $500 for any projects that they have in their home. They have to income qualify. They have to be a certain age. There's certain criteria they have to meet. I believe, I don't want to say, but I believe that's increasing next year. So I don't want to give a dollar amount because I don't want to hold any HUD to it. We struggle with CDBG. We just do every year, and every year we have a committee. We haven't met recently just because the restrictions have gotten so hard that there's really.
Sounds like you really get channeled into certain specific things.
We do, and if we were to do a capital project now, they have required that if you build something, if you do something construction-wise, that you have to be Davis-Bacon basically trained to do so. We don't have anybody here. I mean, I've been through one Davis-Bacon class and it's insane. It just is. The criteria on the stuff, it's almost deterrent to do anything because it's just so restrictive on how it can be spent. But it's a HUD-run program. We're kind of bound by their rules and regulations. So that's why like streets and that can't be touched with it. You know, I hope that helps. I mean, I don't really have a specific, you know, answer. The meetings that we go to are, they're just, it's very prohibitive to do anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it just is.
In the past, have we given some of our money to other communities?
We have. They don't allow you to do
certain
it anymore, though. We're not allowed to do that anymore.
Okay.
Because you have to spend the money within a year and a half. It has to be spent. If it's not, then they recoup it at the county level. The county gets dinged, then they get in trouble with HUD. It's just it's a vicious circle, and I'm not speaking ill of HUD. It's a great program for communities that are low income. I'm sure that they can do a lot more with it than we can, but we're not out here. So
in the past, I think we were able to bankroll some years.
Yeah, not anymore.
If you had a big project that maybe you did qualify for, you could save up for a few years and then spend it. Now they want you to spend it within that year, so that kind of stops you from.
They even went to a 3-year program where you would get your money every 3 years, which means you had a bigger chunk of money, but that really hurt the nonprofits because they weren't getting their money for 3 years. The nonprofits that apply need it. They rely on that.
We did some for the senior center work.
We gave some, but that was before they put the Davis-Bacon requirement on the municipalities. And as I've said, if there's anybody on this council that's willing to take over that Davis-Bacon end of it, go ahead. It's above my my intelligence.
One year we actually went out to areas where we needed sidewalks, interviewed people, having to ask for data. It was very, very uncomfortable asking for income data. But if it was at a certain, if their income was low, then we could get that covered by the CDBG money.
But you can't, like by the fairgrounds, you can't do that because people are walking to the fair. So how can you can't income qualify those people.
So.
Yeah.
We try.
You understand my quandary. So.
I will leave it at that.
Yeah, that's, I mean, in a nutshell, that's the problem.
It's free money, but it just doesn't work
Sounds
out
like a
so
lot of
well.
strings attached.
Yeah, it does. And you know, actually the senior minor home repair program, I think is one of the best things that we can do.
Is there a way to make sure we advertise that?
I do. It's on the website. We've actually helped 3 people with that, with their sidewalks. Their sidewalks had to be replaced. And in the village, you're required to pay half your sidewalk bill, and this is actually covered. So, yeah.
So it's not in-home necessarily, it can be outside.
Maybe this year not. I don't know. It changes with the wind.
And is it, if I remember correctly, in other words, they allow $500 per resident?
Yes, once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
Yeah. So like if a senior citizen finds that they need a hot water heater, you know, or something, and they can apply through the county, our money is there for that. They can apply through that, and then they can get approved that way. It's difficult for us because like to go income qualified people, we're all neighbors, you know. I mean, we've had people that are like, I'm not going to give you my income information, you know, you live here. So it ends up, so in order, you know, we can take ourselves out of that at this level because the county does that. And we're not privy to people's personal information. But, I mean, if you want to fill your paperwork out here, you can. I mean, we're happy to help you. But, so.
Senior 65 and over?
Yes, the paperwork's out there. I was going to grab it before I came in here and I forgot. But. So, in a nutshell, I hope that answered your questions.
Oh, Mark, you could get new sidewalks.
That's an act of discrimination, please. How old do you think I am?
Okay, so now it's just open to citizen, to public comment.
Right.
Yeah.
Public comments, please? Any further? Yes, Sandy.
Yes, I'm Sandy Hoxie here representing PAL tonight, and the council has been very kind in the past to give us money to help send some children to camp, and I'm here again asking for your help again through the CDBG money. Last year we were able to send 4 children with the council's money, and I went through the county, filled out all the proper paperwork, and I have asked for enough money for 5 children, but I do realize that your money is limited, so whatever you can help with, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any questions for me about PAL, I'd be happy to answer them.
Well, we've had that a number of years, so I think
35 this year.
Well versed on it.
This is our 35th anniversary.
Well, good. Congratulations. So, anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
My name's Rachel. I'm from Care House. I'm a therapist and family advocate there. Care House is the Macomb County Child Advocacy Center, and our main office is in Mount Clemens. Our services are focused on child victims of sexual abuse, physical abuse, or children who have witnessed a violent act, as well as their non-offending family members. Our goal is to minimize trauma for child victims of abuse and to help the child victim and non-offending family members through the investigation and prosecution phases and provide support to begin the healing process. Care House is one of 34 accredited child advocacy centers in Michigan, serving over 53 counties and one of over 800 in the United States. We collaborate with all law enforcement jurisdictions in Macomb County, as well as the FBI, Homeland Security, and Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We work with Children's Protective Services, the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office, medical and mental health professional, and other child welfare agencies as determined by the case. Over 1 million children in this country suffer from abuse and neglect each year. Child sexual abuse is an epidemic. More children suffer from the trauma of sexual abuse than from asthma and autism combined. Experts agree that the actual number of victims is difficult to determine and is probably much higher than what is reported. At Care House, the types of cases we see range from kid-on-kid touching or sexual contact, the perpetration of sexual abuse on children by adults, serial sexual abusers, otherwise known as pedophiles, children who suffer repeated, frequent, and sadistic forms of sexual abuse, physical abuse, and torture, sometimes with the knowledge of a parent who's failing to protect the child, and then child pornography and sex trafficking. Over 90% of children Victims know their abuser. Those who molest children look and act just like everybody else. Abusers can be neighbors, friends, family members, coaches, teachers, clergy, or other family. They can be adults or children. They can be men or women. The children we serve come from every community in Macomb County, and we're spared the trauma of multiple interviews and are provided with the tools that they need to help them heal and move forward. After the forensic interview, Care House also offers follow-up services to children, victims, and their families, intervening to promote healing and helping families cope with the emotional stress and trauma that is caused not only by the acts of the abuse, but also the investigative process. Our support services include crisis counseling, parent and child support groups, trauma-focused therapy sessions, and child safety assessments. We do family advocacy, access to forensic medical exams, referrals to other needed community services, and we are also the designated counsel in Macomb County for the Michigan Children's Trust Fund. So Care House also provides child abuse prevention information, education and training for professionals and to the community at large. Families are never charged when they come to Care House for services. We provide services to all children who are referred and their non-offending family members. I'm also proud to report that according to our most recent independent financial audit, 86 cents of every dollar that comes to Care House is specifically spent helping children and their families. After conducting interviews one at a time and in one location for 22 years, I'm very excited to announce that this year we've opened a satellite center in Warren. This new Victim and Family Service Center brings critical services including forensic interviews, therapy, and support groups directly to families in the southern part of our county for whom transportation to access these services had previously been a barrier. Our new satellite office has also freed up space in the schedule of our Mount Clemens location so that services can be delivered faster to children in the communities for whom that location is more convenient. Since our opening in 1996, we have conducted over 7,000 child forensic interviews, with 7 of those children residing in the village of Armada. In 2018, we provided 753 forensic interviews, and 1 of those children reside in the village of Armada. We depend on our support from the community to provide a voice for children victims and a safe place for them to be heard. We are very grateful to have the support of the village of Armada over the years. We respectfully request your consideration for funding this upcoming fiscal year in the amount of $600, which will allow us to support services for 1 child victim and their family that reside in the village of Armada. For more information about Care House, we invite you to visit our website. It's mccarehouse.org, and you can follow us on Facebook.
Very good, thank you. Anyone else? No one else, so we're going to be closing the hearing. What is the council wishes?
I'll move that we, at this time, we move out of the public hearing.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
At what time, Steve?
That would be 7:25.
Yep.
Any further discussion? If not, all...
No, always. We don't need that.
You're right, okay.
Yeah. Just call for a vote. We don't have to do it.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Before we jump into the numbers, I did have a question. So my understanding that we're estimated to receive $10,000.
Yep.
And we're limited to our program services to 15%.
They allow us to give 2,200, which is actually 23%.
Yeah.
Because of the low amount we get, they.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure because I thought we said that it was capped.
Well, for us that get less, they up the percentage.
Okay. So then we have about
2,200.
2,200.
Anybody got a calculator then?
Michelle, we don't have anybody from Emcrest here tonight?
No.
Nobody from Samaritan House? We have
No.
Armada, Pal, and Care House here, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I know the Congregational Church has
Yeah, they do
done
Emcrest,
Emcrest
right?
for a number of years.
Well, the requests we got this year were from McCrest, Samaritan House, Armada Pal,
That's it.
Care House, Helping Hands Gifts. That's who's requested. But it's up to you guys who you want to give the money to and how much.
Council have any wishes?
Samaritan was 600, and how much were you, Sandy?
I asked for $16.25. That would take 5 campers to camp.
So between the two of them, that's $22.25. So, and we have $2,200. But that's just those two. I mean, the rest that asked, I mean, I gave
Have
you.
we given the care house before?
Yes.
That's what I thought we had.
Yes.
What did we give them? We didn't give them last year though, or did we?
There was nothing like
Last year we did not because they were not here last year.
in
So-
Helping Hands gifts that
Yeah.
printed. We did not.
But in the past, yes, we have, and I think we've usually given them the 600 that they asked for. I only go back a year.
We've always given the Amherst and Samaritan House, haven't we?
Pretty historically, yes.
Well, we went like 300, 1,400, 200, you know. I wish we could do more.
Yeah. No, we're capped at what we can get. So.
300.
But Amherst at 300, Samaritan at 300, Pal at 1,400, and 200 for Care House.
You already said Care House.
Care House.
Yep, sounds good.
What was the amount on that, David?
Pardon?
Care House, please.
200. That's just a suggestion.
Any other comments?
Oh, and the reason that the numbers are a little off is because that chore program, we have to give 300, they already take that off the top. That's the county chore program.
Okay.
In case anybody's.
But we have
math out there.
$2,200.
Yes, yes.
You want a motion on that?
Yes.
It's right here, you just have to fill in.
Right, just,
Please read the motion. It's on the second page of your
second page
statement.
of it.
No.
GB3A.
Go over to the other paper, Steve. Where your pen is.
No,
Second
that's
page.
not in there, it's not in there.
How is it not in there? Here.
No, I'm not saying it's not in, it's in here.
Well, here. Just use mine.
Okay. Okay. Move to approve the fiscal year 2019-2020 CDBG program based upon an entitlement of $10,000 and allocated as follows. Capital projects, which is the senior home repair program, $500. Crest 300, Samaritan House 300, Armada Pal 1,400, Care House 200,
And sure.
In short, yeah.
and Shore 300.
Support.
Can I see that?
Yes.
So Crest 3,
Three.
Samaritan House
Three.
3.
Everybody's deserving of more. It's just difficult.
200.
Yeah, I gotta find it. Where is it?
Care House. Yeah, and then there are three somewhere also.
Okay.
We have a motion and support. Oh,
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Care House is here. I don't know, I mean, you gave McCrest and Samaritan House more than Care House, and I just think because they're here.
You know, it's fine with me, I
I'm
was
just
waiting
saying,
for somebody to
I am truly
speak
sorry
up.
that there's even a need for your organization. Honestly, it breaks my heart. But I mean, that's just my 2 cents. So I'm just saying.
So,
Well, that's a good comment there actually too, so when they show up.
Taking the
we're in
time.
agreement, I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay, withdrawn?
Withdraw your second? Yeah, I'll withdraw.
Yes,
Okay.
okay. Let's have a new one then.
Okay. So.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna give it back to you.
What are you suggesting? What you could have suggested earlier.
I don't vote. I'm just saying, I mean, they're here, and generally,
Yeah.
you know, I think that,
What are
you know,
you
they,
suggesting?
Well, you want to take,
I would say, you know, maybe 200 to McCrest, 200 to Samaritan House, and then, you know, 300 to Care or 400 to whatever, you know, make them all even, you know.
100, so that's 1,800, and so then we'd be at 400 to Care House.
Well, and I'm, you know, I'm
If we
just,
went that way.
yeah, I'm just saying at least make it even.
So do we want me to make a new motion, folks?
yes.
Yes, please.
I will
Here,
move.
here, no, read
Okay,
it.
here we go.
Because if you don't read it, then I gotta write it for you.
Okay. I move to approve for fiscal year 2019-20 CDBG program based upon an entitlement of $10,000 and allocated funds as follows. Capital projects, which would be the senior home repair program, $7,500. Program services, M-Crest 200, Samaritan House 200, Armada Pal 1,400, Care House 400, and Chore Program 300.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
And I mean, I'm gonna go on record, I've got nothing against Samaritan House or McCrest. I just, you know, I think it speaks that you guys came out.
Please, oh, this is Mike. Let's have a roll call on it, please.
And it was Belkey. Clark, or I'm sorry, I'm gonna start Conan,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Wallach,
Yes.
Baylor.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much, council, I
Thank you for
appreciate it.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Take care, Stacy. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is our Michigan Municipal League membership renewal. Michelle, you have any comments?
No, I mean, the only thing you guys gotta think about is, let's see, hang on, I'm sorry, that, the 1273, that is the renewal, includes a legal defense fund. Just pointing that out, and there was this increase of $27 from last year. As you guys all know, the MML is extremely helpful for all of us, so.
Mr. President, I'll resolve to approve the 2019 membership renewal with the Michigan Municipal League for the period February 1st, 2019 through January 31st, 2020 in the amount of $1,273.
Support.
Has moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Wallach.
Yes, motion carried. Next is the appointment to the village council. We have had an advertisement for village council people, and we have one application. And that you have in your packet as such as Chris Sled. He's been around here for a number of years. He's been on the planning commission, so He has a summary in our packet here, if you apparently have all read it. And so, upon recommendation of myself, I would express that to do so. So at this time, you have a motion there?
Mr. President, I resolve to appoint Christopher Sledge to the elected office of the village trustee until the next regular village election, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the General Law Village Act.
Okay.
I support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? This will come back in November.
November 2020 is the next regular election.
So he'll be on.
Yeah, he'll be on for 2 years, and then he'll have to run in 2020
For another 2 months.
for another 2 years.
Let's see. Yeah,
No.
just a second now.
He's
One doesn't put something here,
You're
please.
confused, Jeff.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's all right. Okay, what is it, Con? That's it.
Motion and then second.
Okay, motion is second, okay. So any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Put him to work.
Yeah,
Put him to work.
I'll call and give him the news.
Okay, then we have the resignation appointment to the zoning board of appeals and planning commission.
This is mostly just because of Ross getting on to council, the new appointment of Chris onto council, because they can't serve on two, I don't know, Jeff, you want to explain that?
Yeah, that's the letter I had
confusing.
in the,
Yeah,
So,
yes, in the liaison reports. Just, my election triggers certain things out of the zoning ordinance that we have to comply with, which gets Steve's resignation off of ZBA, which gets
him, you appointed.
my resignation off ZBA to get hopefully reappointed in a different capacity, right? And then Christy Patterson was asking to come on ZBA. So we have a current vice chair, we have a secretary. Christy will come on, I will come on, hopefully, as the council's liaison to the planning commission. And so it keeps us at 4 members, we're 1 member short. Continue to look for another member to round it out at 5. 5's supposed to be the minimum, with a couple alternates, but we've been working with before. So this does some of that. You want to talk about the planning commission?
Planning commission, same way, we're still a member short. Right now, Chris Sleds is on the planning. He has submitted a letter of resignation from that. And then Steve has expressed an interest of going back on the planning as a council liaison.
This is more work than
It
less
is,
work.
it's gotten, right now the planning can't, they can't have a meeting this week due to, circumstances.
Got an opening, Kevin.
Yeah. Got openings,
Got an opening.
got openings. Send
You
in
need
a
to get up to
letter.
speed first.
Planning commission.
Planning
I need to get up
commission.
to speed first.
You know how you get up to speed?
You
Go on.
You get
Yeah.
appointed.
Dive in.
And they give you a book, and
You just
Yeah.
raise your hand, volunteer, get appointed,
I
and
need
you'll
to-
get up to speed.
I need a computer.
You can come sit up here, we'll give you a book, you can look at it. Yeah.
All right, what is council's wishes as to the resignation of Mr. Clark?
So, first thing, do we want to put...
Mr. Clark's resignation first, right? So,
We gotta take the...
Please, just stick to the motions.
Oh, we got 'em. Okay. I move to accept the resignation of Stephen Clark from the Zoning Board of Appeals effective immediately.
With regret.
Oh, with regret.
With regret.
support. It's been moved and supported. We laugh about it because We always look at each other. All right,
You're just
so-
glad you're not doing it.
Any other suggestions or discussion, please? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion carried. And the second one is our president's recommendation, in other words, for Christy Patterson to be appointed to that board, please.
Mr. President, I'll resolve to comply with the President's recommendation to appoint Christy Patterson to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term ending December 31, 2021, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the Village Charter.
I'd support that.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And I do stand corrected, because Ross did not need to resign off the ZBA. His appointment actually expired on the 31st of December, so he has put in a letter to be reappointed. So I just correct myself. So that's the next motion.
Can I so our two ex officios, as they're called, which would be Ross on ZBA and hopefully Steve on planning, their terms actually run with their council terms. So
That's why that's italicized. So.
yeah, but his term won't end December 31,
Right.
2021.
Right.
I think it'll be, Ross, you were elected to, I think, a 4-year?
4-year.
4-year,
So
yeah.
whatever that November
22.
22.
So it'll be November, oh geez. Everybody got a
So
calendar?
18, 19, 20, 20.
We need the date though. The November date in 2022 after the election.
No, it's November. Every village term ends on the 20th of November.
Oh, the 20th, okay, there we
So
go.
just, it's
All right.
very similar to Steve's motion.
Ending November 20th, 2022.
No, you have it November 19th.
19th is on the,
Well, the 20th is a Sunday.
It doesn't matter. So it'll be to a term ending November 19th, 2022 for Ross
Okay,
instead of December 31st.
okay.
All right?
For the record, they got really
Council
confused.
Worship, please.
Mr. President, I'll resolve to comply with the President's recommendation to appoint Ross Belkey to the Zoning Board of Appeals to a term ending November 19th, 2022, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the Village Charter.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion.
It's gonna abstain from that? Is that
No,
appropriate?
you can vote for yourself.
Vote for myself.
I'm surprised you didn't abstain from that, Ross.
You have one friend.
Okay.
Just being careful.
Okay, then the resignation of Chris Lett from the
Yep,
planning.
I resolve to accept the resignation of Chris Lenz from the Planning Commission effective immediately with regret.
Second.
Moved and supported by Belkey. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, aye. Excuse me, next one is my recommendation to appoint Steve Clark to the Planning Commission.
So that date of 2019 isn't correct?
No,
then?
it'll
That
be,
would- when did you run last year, 2020, right?
Sure.
I think it
I
is.
think.
Did you just
Yeah.
run this last time?
What's that?
Did you just run
No.
this
No,
year,
he
so
didn't.
2020?
Yeah.
Okay, change it to 2020.
Okay, Mr. President, I'll resolve to comply with the President's recommendation to appoint Steve Clark to the Planning Commission to a term ending November 19th, 2020, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the Village Charter.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
For the record, they don't get paid on those boards either, so, I mean, they don't need to abstain. So,
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Yeah, well, I make that clear.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, that's my page again.
That's the-
Yeah, yeah. next is the designation of site administrator to approve wastewater construction projects DEQ requirements. This has been submitted by our village treasurer.
Want me to touch on it?
Yeah, why don't you, please?
Okay. Doug Skyless, we sent this over to Doug Skyless. We had gotten an email from the DEQ that they're going to electronic submissions only, so you need to designate a site administrator, which the only logical choice for sewer stuff is Steve. So, as sewer commissioner. I talked to Doug briefly about this. His comment was the village will need to set up an account with MDEQ for these permits. Part 41 permit is required whenever you do construction work to your sewer system, lift stations, or treatment plant. You should decide who the contact will be and administrate and follow the steps below to set up an account. This had come to myself and Joe. Joe's working on it, but she's obviously off. So, talked to Steve briefly about it. He's really the only, one that's going to be on site for construction projects. So, sorry.
Mr. President, I'll resolve to appoint Stephen Clark as site administrator for construction projects at the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay, is there support?
Support.
Movement and support. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
And we'll figure out the process of what we gotta do.
Well, we have to go through the steps, so come in and see me and we'll walk through it. It's probably going to be a lot like what Lyle has to do with the electronic signatures on road projects. I'll try to get you through it, just because we need to start.
And the next one would be Billy Centennial declaration. What are the council's wishes on that?
Since I've looked into it, does anybody want any explanation? There is a set of fact sheets in there. I would tell you that I don't know that we'll ever really nail down specifically what the date is, but the one date that keeps coming back up that I don't see this discussion about or issues about is 15 October 1869 as the date that the village was organized. So you do the math on that, that's 150 years ago this year. So, Mr. President, I resolve that 2019 be declared to be the Village of Armada's sesquicentennial, with 15 October 2019 as 150 years since it was first organized as an incorporated municipality.
Is there support?
Support.
Any further discussion?
Now, what's your plans with that?
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that with the next
Birthday
one.
party for the village.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
No further discussion? Okay. All in favor, please?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, and the second piece of that is, now that we've declared that 2019 is our sesquicentennial year, I would like to take the opportunity to talk to the local businesses, the nonprofits, the support and service organizations, and so on, and find out what their interest is in promoting the village and celebrating our sesquicentennial. It only happens once in 150 years, and this is it. So we've got 8 months to plan for it and see what we can do with it. So, Mr. President, I resolve to appoint Ross Belke, myself, as Village Council representative to explore with other community organizations and entities an official celebration of the sesquicentennial on or about October 15, 2019. And just as a side note, the 15th is a Tuesday, so we would likely do something on the 12th or 13th of October.
Or later.
Or later.
second that.
Oh, okay.
Only because you're the only one that can say that word right.
Sesquicentennial. It's tough for me too. Especially after being up since 4 o'clock this morning. So.
Marv, you remember when they,
You got the numbers.
That's a fighting word.
You do a still store of that.
You've been ever expelled from a meeting?
No, but he got expelled from a lot of classes.
Remember, I learned your overboard prayers here.
Nicely done.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I'll do
So
this
we'll be
for,
looking forward to some of that information, probably each meeting,
yep, do updates on a regular basis.
monthly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. You mentioned Northern Electric.
Yes, with some of the issues we've had down at the sewer plant with what we think is the incoming power from Detroit Edison, Rowe suggested, it was their recommendation, that Northern Electric Testing be hired to perform a 7-day test down there at one connection point to just see how the electricity is coming in at the plant. And this is a separate item. I did not want to take it off of the money we've already allocated for Rowe. They're already kind of burning through that. So this is a standalone cost. And for the 7-day test, it is supposed to not exceed $2,533.
Ross.
And I don't know, Lyle, if you want to add to what,
Well,
you know.
I do know that they're getting a lot of alarms down there on our, through our PLC. And it appears to me that it could be a power problem. And I think that Northern Electric, they will find it if it's there. They're very reputable, and I know I've worked with them before when I was at Ford. And 7-day test for $2,533, that's well worth it.
And with us planning to do as much of the updates as we are down at that plant, I would like to know one way or the other if we've got clean power coming in, or if we have to, the transformer has to be redone, or new electric lines put in.
Exactly.
Per their recommendation.
And that doesn't do our PLC any good, all those spikes that's
No,
coming in.
it does not. So with that being said, I would like to approve Northern Electric Testing. Okay.
Are you not reading that?
I'm gonna read off this first sentence here. I'm getting all this.
Electric testing, okay.
They propose to provide services and equipment to perform a load study for a 7-day period at one connection point, preferably the load side of the secondary, at a cost not to exceed $2,533.
I'll support that.
Thank you, Ron.
Been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Roll call, please. Money.
Clark,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Bullock,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Conan.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next is the...
Sentence I have highlighted and then the bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
Get that on that. Thank you.
Any up and coming agenda items council have?
The police commissioner appointment.
Okay, that will be at our next meeting. And next will be the citizen comments is open to the floor again. 3 minutes. State your name for the record, please. If not, council comments, please. Community events. Any to recognize?
The sesquicentennial.
Yeah. You're going to say that every meeting, aren't you?
I'm gonna ban that.
I can't even spell it.
Okay.
I'd like to say thank you to the gentleman here that pointed out that there's problems on the website. I appreciate that because if I miss it, I miss it. So I'll look at it.
I just want to fix.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
We'd like to have you on the planning commission too, sir.
Sure. Can we cut it?
Zoning.
Fix that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'll take it under advisement.
All right, community events, is there any? No? There's no closed sessions tonight, so I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Time is 7:56. I move to adjourn.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.